Hello, my TFT community. It's been a while since I've done a video. I've been doing lots of other things, and I've been recently training in more TFT. So I thought it was probably a really good time to come on and give you that next level of tapping. Kind of the world at the moment is pretty tense. I can feel it kind of everywhere. I can see it in posts on the news, you know, in our bills. There's a lot going on. So what I've been learning recently and what I want to share is pretty much how to transmute any emotion, any negative emotions, probably more important. So the word transmute is really, really fundamental, because say you're feeling angry or anxious, it's not about avoiding it or trying to be positive. It's about letting it come up. The word transmute means to let it flow, and then it goes. So it is like a release, pretty much. But it's about letting these emotions really come in. So imagine that you're feeling, let's use stress, you know, stress, anxiety, sadness, anger, jealousy, grief, hatred, all these emotions. Stress is probably the biggest one at the moment that that I can feel. So I'm going to work on stress. You can work on whatever feeling you want. The first step to all of this is to acknowledge it. And really importantly, you would say things like this to yourself, like, I am feeling stressed, or I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling jealous, I'm feeling upset, hatred. You know, I'm really feeling frustrated with that person, or whatever it is. But the word feeling, I am feeling, because it is a feeling, it is an emotion. A lot of people will say that I am stressed. Well, no, you're not stressed. You are a human. I am Chris. I'm not stressed. I'm feeling stressed. So that word feeling is really important. Really lets the emotion come up. So step one is to really acknowledge it and just label it as I am feeling. The second step, once you've acknowledged it, is to welcome that feeling. Like, as humans, we've got the privilege to be able to feel all these different range of emotions. So to feel like complete love and ecstasy and joy, you have to know what the other side of that is, so that you get the contrast, you get the difference. So welcome that feeling. So if I'm working on feeling stressed, that I'm sitting in it and I'm feeling it. Where am I feeling it in my body? Is it in my tummy? Is it in my heart? Is it in my head? Are my thoughts racing? And just embrace it. Let it come up. Let it really, really, really start to gain momentum. And the reason for this, right, is if you have an emotion and you squash it, or you have an emotion, you go, well, I'm just going to turn away from it and go over here and do something different that will take my mind off it. When you suppress the emotion, like, what you resist just persists, and it will keep getting worse until you deal with it. So by welcoming the emotion when it comes up naturally, you're able to take it out at the root. And when you then transmute the emotion with this tapping sequence, you're able to, like, pull it out, the whole thing. This works for addiction, alcohol, drugs, cigarettes. You know, in the training, they talk about this person who has like a Doritos addiction. And he would eat like 4 or 5 huge share bags of Doritos. And they did this sequence, no, went straight away. So really welcome it, welcome it, welcome it, welcome it. And as you're welcoming the feeling, so I'm going to use the term stressed again. As I'm welcoming the feeling of stress, and I'm focusing in, where is it in my body? You know, where is it? Is it my thoughts? Is it my heart? Is it my stomach? I'm just letting it, I'm just breathing through my nose. Always breathe through your nose. I'm just feeling it, and I'm just letting it rage, basically. And when you've got your eyes shut and you're just imagining the feeling increasing, I want you just to have a concept. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to change everything the way you think, but just have a concept that you are pure love and light. While you've got your eyes shut and you're imagining this feeling of stress, I also want you to focus your energy in the center of your chest. So put your attention right in the center of your chest and just imagine this bright, golden, shining light coming from the center of your chest. And it's like a round circle right here. And as you give it attention, it grows, and it's 360 degrees everywhere. It just expands. And that light is love and your light. And it expands completely everywhere. 360, it's infinite. And right at the edge, it's as bright and as powerful as it is right in the center of your chest. And as you're letting yourself have that awareness, and it's growing and growing and growing, and you're letting the feelings of stress rise, just automatically acknowledge that, like bubbles of water in the ocean coming up, these feelings of stress are like those bubbles. They come to the surface and they pop. And that's kind of what I want you to imagine. Now, step 3 is that you have to allow those feelings to go. You have to feel them, and you have to allow them to leave. Okay, allow them to be transmuted. Really, really importantly, don't be attached to the outcome. So what that might look like or might think like is, I can't wait for this feeling of stress to go, because then I'll feel better. Like you're too attached to the emotion, which means it won't leave. So just imagine it bubbling up, and you're enjoying the feeling of stress because you're having this experience of all these wonderful emotions. And what happens when the stress leaves you, that love and light that you have in the center of your chest, it just keeps growing. So it allows more of that to come in. It increases your experience of love and joy. So let it come out, but don't be attached. Don't be attached to it. Okay, so we've labeled the emotion. So I'm using stress, so I'm feeling stressed. And you rate it out of 10. So give it a rating, 10 being the absolute worst it's ever been. You know, I cannot, feel any other way. Like, this is so overwhelming. Whatever it is, it might be a 6, it might be an 8, whatever. Just write it down. And I'm going to teach you the 2 sequences. So we're going to go through this at this stage, and I'll remind you of what we're doing. So left hand, side of the hand, just going to tap literally a couple. Left hand, then right hand, then under the nose, under the chin, left hand middle finger. So it's the side of the finger closest to the thumb, and it's like the bottom corner. So if I was looking at it, it's the bottom right corner of the nail, and you just tap there. Same on the right hand. Then outside the eye, then collarbone. Okay. So that's how we're going to set up the session. So I want you to say these words exactly. So I want to get over this. So whatever that feeling is, anger, stress, depressed, whatever, I want to get over this. Again, in your thoughts, though, you're not attached in the words of, I can't wait. Like, my life's going to be so much better when this is gone. Like, almost like an anxious, like, I can't wait for it to go. But don't be attached. It's purely, I want to get over this. Okay, then tap along. Perfect. Now we're going to move into the actual sequence. So I'll talk it through a couple of times as I do it live. But as we get into this more and more and more, I'll just tap. All right. Okay, so this sequence is the middle of the eyes, outside the eye, under the eye, under the nose, under the chin, collarbone, under the arm, left hand, you're going to go little finger. So every single time, if you're looking at your hand, it's the bottom right side of the nail. We're going to go to every single finger and then do your thumb. The thumb is the only one that's opposite. It's the left, the bottom left of your nail. Okay, so we go little finger. If you get this right, like when I hit mine, I can feel it. I can feel it's like shock, like a shockwave up my arm. Okay, so you're doing every finger, so we just move along. And then thumb, which is the bottom left. Okay, and then in between on your left hand, between your little finger and the ring finger, in between, like halfway down here, this is called the gamut spot. I'm just going to touch that. I'm going to tap that. Now this one's a bit strange, but follow along. So close your eyes, open your eyes, look down to the right, don't move your head, look down to the left, and you go round in a circle, round in a circle. Then you're going to hum a tune. Every note has to be different. So I do happy birthday. So I go, then you're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hum again. So when you hum, mouth closed, and then the notes have to all be different. So I do happy birthday, like I say. Now, as you're tapping the gamut spot, this next bit, you're just going to take 3 deep breaths, 3 normal breaths, sorry, through your nose. And your attention should just be on, like, just under your belly button. Just feel your stomach moving in and out with your breath. Great. And we go back to the eyebrow, middle of the eye, middle of the eyebrows even, outside the eye, under the nose, under the chin, collarbone, under the arm, left hand, every finger, thumb. Okay, this one, you're going to put your hand in a shape like that, your fingers in a shape, and it's on the top of your head. Okay, through your nose again, 3 breaths, concentrating on your belly button. Great. So one of 3 things will happen. 1, your number will go up. 2, your number will go down. Or 3, it'll be gone. If it's a 0, you're done. You stop here. So in my past tapping videos, this is kind of where I've stopped. You know, we do 1 round, do a few reversals. But if you're here and it hasn't got any better, I'm gonna go through a whole sequence. So if you follow along and you get to a 0, you can just stop. You won't do any harm if you carry on. But if you're like, haven't got relief yet, I'm going to show you the full process. All right. So anytime you've got an emotion that you want to get rid of, this is the video you watch, because it will go from start to finish. I might do another video actually where I just summarize it. I do a quick version about the explaining. All right. So mine is still there. So it's not 0. So I'm going to show you what you do next. So first you say out loud, I can get over this. So say it with purpose. I can get over this. Then we go side of hand, under nose, under chin, middle finger left hand, middle finger right hand, outside of the eye, collarbone. Right, straight into middle of the eyebrows, outside the eyebrows, under the eye, under nose, under chin, collarbone. You see I'm going quite quick? This is fine. Under the arm, left hand, every finger, thumb, gamut spot, eyes shut, eyes open, down to the right, down to the left, round in a circle, round in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done our 3 breaths. And we're back to the eye, outside eye, under the eye, nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm, run the left fingers, remember this one, top of your head, and 3 breaths. So again, you then check your number. So by this point, you might be down at 0, very normal. You may be, it's come down a little bit, but it's still there. Cool, just keep welcoming the feeling. It might have gone up. At any time it goes up, just check it's the same emotion. Because what you might have done is you might have been able to pluck out anger, stress, and then you might feel sad. And if you feel sad, you've got to start again. If it's a different emotion, you go to the top, you start over again. So basically what you've done is you've pulled out one thing and it's shown you another layer. So when that happens, like, get excited. That's great, because then you're like expanding your love energy as much as possible. So if your emotion changes, just check. If it goes up, is it still stress? No, actually now I'm actually really pissed off. Okay, well, that's anger. That's a different emotion. So you start again. Let's say you're still on stress, or you're still on whatever you started on. What you say out loud now, this next round, is you say, I will get over this. And say it with some gusto and some purpose. I will get over this. Here we go, side of the hand. So I'm going quicker now. So it's not a race or anything. It's just a bit of practice. Don't worry if you do it wrong. You can't do any harm. What you can do is write down the sequence right at the start, and you've got it in front of you then. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we went round the whole time. I was quiet on purpose because when you're tapping, your thoughts really don't need to be anywhere. You don't need to focus on anything. And actually the idea of going quick means that you're focusing on where you're tapping. So you've already allowed the emotion to come up, and now we're just tapping. So if you've gone up, just check it's the same emotion. If it's not, we've got a step to go. That's cool. If it's gone down but it's not 0, that's great. And if you're at 0, you're done. If you still need to continue, what you do now is you say, I am getting over this. And we go around again. Oh, I missed outside the eye. No worries. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. You're doing great. Just keep going. Perfect. Okay. So again, you check in. Higher, lower, or gone. If you're a 0 and it's gone, you're done. If you need to carry on. What we move on to next is on the left-hand side of your chest, there's like a sore spot. Like it does move around a little bit, but it's around like the center of your chest. And you'll know as soon as you get it, you'll feel like it's just tender. Just like oh yeah, I've got mine right there. So what you do, you're just rubbing that tender spot. You can go either way, whichever, no issue. And at this point, just try and relax your face, like really concentrate on like, ooh, just relaxing, smile even. And just really allow that feeling that's still there, let it rage, feel it in your body. Go through the situations in your mind where it's come from, like someone cut you up on a roundabout or you stubbed your toe, I don't know, whatever it is for you. Or you just got so many emails, you don't know where to start, you're overwhelmed. Like just let it all come up as you're doing this rubbing. And then you're going to say this. So follow, like listen to me say it. And then I'll stop so that you can say it. And we're going to do this 3 times. So as you're rubbing here and you've let all those emotions come up, you say, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, even if I don't get over this. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, even if I don't get over this. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, even if I don't get over this. Okay, then we're back to the center of the eyebrows. Outside eye, under the eye, under the nose, under the chin, collarbone, under the arm, around the left hand, every finger. So 9GSQ, which is what we're doing, 9 gamut. Shut your eyes, open your eyes, down to the right, down to the left, round in a circle. Keep your head still, round in a circle the other way. Hum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 breaths. The center of the eyebrows, outside the eye, under the eye, nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm, round the left hand. The top of the head. And 3 breaths through your nose. Great. So one of 3 things again. Up, check it's a different, check if it's a different emotion. If it is, start again. 2, it's gone down a bit. Cool. 3, it's 0 and you're done. Perfect. It's very unlikely you'll get to this stage, but if you're getting to this stage, it's because it's a deeper emotion. So I'm going to explain all this at the end as well, but if you're at this stage, you need some help. This is where one-to-one stuff with me really works, because I'll be able to hold that space for you to be able to, I'll be able to take you deeper, like personally, one-on-one with like some of the things. All right. Okay. So if it's still there, the same emotion, you're still like a 4 or like a 3, a 2, it's not gone yet. What we're going to do this time, I'm going to show you side on. Hopefully you can see because I've got blur on. So you're going to have your hands like this, and as you breathe in, you just rest your hands on your head. It's not like you're not pushing with any power. You just rest. Okay. So as you breathe in, you press your hands on your head. So you go through your nose. So you're going to do 3 breaths. So you go, and then as you breathe out, you let go. Okay, and then we go round again. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. You're doing great. Just follow along. I'd really advise you to write the sequence down. Okay, great. So you finished with those 3 breaths. And then again, have I gone up? Is it a different emotion? Start again if it is. Have I gone down a bit? Is it a 0? If it's a 0, thanks, you're done. If it's gone down, you need to continue. There's one more round. This time, it's the same principle with the head thing, but you breathe in, and when you breathe out, you press. Okay, so we do that 3 times. So if you need to carry on. Okay, we go around again. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. So we're coming to an end now. Perfect. So again, one of 3 things. 1, it's gone up. Check your emotion. Is it different? 2, it's gone down. Or 3, it's 0. Either way, we are done. This is it. It's the end of the cycle. If you still got an emotion, say it hasn't gone anywhere, right? Say you're a 10. Don't get despondent. Don't get frustrated. Don't think it doesn't work. I would just give yourself a break and maybe try this again in a few hours. Now, the reason is the way this whole thing works, right, is when you keyed in that emotion, so you would have felt that emotion before, and likely you would have suppressed it. So look, our whole lives, anger's been judged, feeling depressed and unworthy and hopeless. You know, we're told to, you know, suck it up, man up, all those things that kind of don't really address it. We just, again, suppress it. So if you've got to this end and you've still got quite a lot of the emotion there, just know that it's okay and that it's just not the end yet. That's all it means. So don't worry, there's nothing wrong. Just come back to this exercise and do it again. Once you get really proficient at this, it's the first 3 steps that are really important. So that acknowledging, the welcoming the feeling, and then the allowing the energy to leave. Those 3 things are vital. So you've really got to let yourself fall into the feelings to let yourself be able to pluck it out. So just make sure that you're doing that correctly, or like with enough awareness to start with. And it does take practice. Don't beat yourself up. And that's why I say to come back in a few hours and try again. Just keep trying, keep trying. Also, sometimes when we're like really feeling an intense emotion, we find it difficult to notice when the emotion's changed to something different. We just know we don't feel good. So it could be stress, anger, anxiety, sadness, all wrapped up in one. And what we're doing here is we're going to be addressing whatever the feeling is. So if you just put it's still an 8, but you're now actually really thinking of sadness when it was, and you haven't noticed the change of emotion, again, it doesn't matter. Don't beat yourself up. You'll get better and better at this as time goes on. If you've got to this stage though, and you're like, Zen, it's gone, then congratulations. Because this has happened to me on many occasions where the feelings just evaporated and you just feel light and you feel like expansive. You feel like you can go and take on the world. It's great. Now let's just talk about how this all works, right? So I got into this a couple of years ago based on some personal development I was doing. And really the whole point of the course I was taking was to feel good now. It's kind of the catchphrase of the course. You know, whatever you want in life, you just got to feel good now. That's really, feeling good all the time is the goal. And there was many different ways to, if you don't feel good now, what could you do? And I'm going to share a few of those with you now. So things like going out for a walk and looking at things far away. So I live by the beach. I'd walk on the beach and look out over at the distance. Perfect. Do any type of exercise. Play with your children. Pet, your dog. Take your dog for a walk. Have a cuddle with your cat. Hug someone. Laugh. Put on a film that makes you laugh. Dance. Put on your favorite music. Dance around your kitchen. Literally, there's so many different things. Put on like your favorite music, like music that makes you feel good. You can literally shock your body into feeling better. There's something called a rebounder, which is like a little mini trampoline. Like just jump on that for a bit. That works really well. Tapping, this is what works for me. I can do it in like the private of my own home. The reason I want to do these videos is because what you get on YouTube isn't this. There's a guy called Roger Callahan who came up with all these amazing techniques and sequences. And one of his understudies was a guy called Gary Craig, if you're English. And he developed something called emotional freedom technique. It's literally like 1% of what Roger Callahan knew. And he just went off and marketed it. It was just like a salesman. So it does work in a way, but it's nowhere near as deep as what we can do with this. This isn't out there. People charge hundreds and hundreds of pounds for a session of this, but it really helped me. So I just want to give it back to you guys. So if you found it helpful, please like it, share it, interact with the post, ask questions. If you want to book a one-on-one session, just contact me. I am taking on clients. I've kind of been working on business stuff in the background, so it's been a bit quiet, but I want to start regularly posting. So let me know any emotions that you've got that you want a specific sequence for that. I can do all that still. This is a big one. So if you can perfect this and use this in your daily life and get really good, get it on autopilot, you'll probably only need to go through a couple of sequences, a couple of rounds, and it'll be gone. So yeah, let's end suppressing. Let's let the emotions flow, and let's be the best versions of us. So until next time, I'll catch you soon.